Hello. So I spent 10 hours in Creative Minecraft just building, and this is basically how it went. If you just want to see the finished project, you can click the time on screen, but you won't be able to hear my amazing commentary that I have not recorded yet through the time lapse. But without further ado, I guess we just get started now. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so basically, I'm the best at commentary. This is because a day later, like after I was done with these 10 hours, I go to school during PE class. I'm just running while playing basketball, and if you didn't know this about me, which you probably don't, I have fallen arches, which makes I just have messed up feet. And because of that, sometimes I just land on the side of my foot, which is usually fine because I just keep running normally. But in this case, I fell while landing on that part of the foot and just completely rolled the ankles like sideways. My friend was calling me a crybaby for rolling it like 1 degree over, but it's far more than 1 degree. So I thought that this would be fine. It'd just go away tomorrow. It just became so swollen. It was awful. It became so swollen, I couldn't feel like my ankle bones. I don't really know how to explain it, but I had to be on crutches for like half a week. It was awful. But the coach, when it happened, like the PE teacher, he was a substitute. The substitute just happened to be the head football coach. So he assumed that I was faking, which was a pretty good assumption, because I was so awful at explaining what had just happened. I was like, and my ankle fallen arches, and it really hurts. I was just laying on the ground like that. It was so awful. My friend was talking about how he didn't believe me, and I was like, yeah, I kind of deserve it. Best part about it, though, for anyone who would laugh at me using crutches, I could just point at them and say ableist, and it was so funny. Someone started laughing at me when I was using my crutches. They were like, oh, you can't go through tight corners, and I was like, you're ableist, man. I was born no, I wasn't, but you get the gist of it. Worst part about it, though, it was the day after my birthday. My birthday is September 18th, and I hurt my ankle on like Monday, I think it was, and my birthday was on Sunday. So after my birthday, I was just like, the fun times need to end. It's time to end this. And my ankle was just like, I got you. Moving on. It took me a long time to build this, precisely 10 hours. Let me just talk about the logistics of that. I had my Chromebook on at the right the entire time when I was recording this, and I had a timer on it saying 10 hours left, and it just went down. Multiple times, I just thought that the time was just gone, because I closed my Chromebook and I was like, is it gonna still be there in the morning? Please. Luckily it was. I had the timer and didn't want to use game statistic time, because whenever I wanted to take a break, I wanted to be able to pause the timer, like actually have it so that it displayed how many hours I have built instead of how many hours I've just sat there thinking of stuff to build. Luckily, sitting and doing stuff wasn't too long, because my overall game statistics was like 10.6 hours, but my timer was, 10 hours. It was fun making all of this, but at the same time, I don't want to do it again, like ever. If I had to do 100 hours of building in Minecraft, like, not straight, obviously, but if that's all I could do on my computer for a while, I would be so upset. I would just be bawling tears. I would not want to do that. The amount of ideas I had to come up for this thing alone. I made a magical forest. I made like, I made a village. I made a castle. I made caves. I made floating islands. I made one of those sword nether portal things. It was so cool. But at the same time, the amount of brainstorming I needed to do. Like the sword portal thing was not original at all. I just saw it on like Reddit one day and I was like, I can make one of those. Obviously I didn't build it block per block. I made my own design because that would have been kind of unfair to the project. But I did eventually make another portal sword. Anyway, so I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros lately. I took like a 1-year hiatus. I went and played tennis, played a few other games, like Multiverses, which was very fun for a while. But I got back into Smash Bros. I don't know what affected it so much, but I went from like having all my characters in 3 million GSP to absolutely destroying at 8 million GSP. I don't know why or how, but I did hit. Though when I say all my characters, I mean just the characters I play the most, like Jigglypuff and Kirby. I'm personally a Jigglypuff main, which I kind of hate saying because Jigglypuff is kind of lame, unless you're watching Hungrybox or something. But I have like 30 seconds left before the time lapse ends. I can say happy birthday to myself. That's like the last thing there. I'm building a birthday cake, possibly. I don't know. I'm recording this on Audacity. I can't see. I made a few presents with very, very bad bows, but it worked out. You can't really tell in the recording or when you're doing the walkthrough. It's the final countdown. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. The final countdown. 10 seconds left. Ba-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. 5. Okay, let me time this. 5, 4, 3, 2, no, 1. Okay, my Chromebook alarm is going off. Let's go. It's done. Finally, I'm finally free. I can do other things with my life now. Let's go. Hello. If you're a time traveler, I guess you're skipping to this point in time, supposedly. If you went through my entire documentary about my life and my life goals and everything that has to do with me, that's also great. So basically, I started off by making this bridge. I saw that there was a natural river running through here, and I just felt like a bridge should go here. I didn't really plan for what I was going to attach to it, I just knew it should be here. And along with that, I made a little town. And I said, you know what every town needs? It needs a monarchy. Unless you're talking about Britain, because British people are the worst. So basically, I made a monarchy, and this villager is very rich. He does not want to look this way. I don't know why. The only reason I could like think of is he just doesn't want to look at the poor commonwealth, and that's my only conclusion I can draw from this. I spent a long time making these walls. I don't know why I decided to make him 3 blocks thick. It did not help with the amount of time it took to make this, like at all. But moving on from that, that probably took the most time out of anything. This next, it looks so good. I am so pleased with it. But it only took like an hour or 2. I thought this was going to be the last thing I built, and I was just dumbfounded with the time it didn't take. I made a lot of... This is like my magical forest area. I added a trail from town, be like, yeah, this is where all the town people don't want to go because it's dangerous. And then I added houses, and now thinking that this is just a place for trade. I don't know, the mushroom people trade with the villagers. I don't know. But I did make... I really like these glass panes hanging off the trees. I made it really feel like a magical forest too. I put some mushrooms down and all that. I made a magic beam that goes into the sky. I don't know why or how this would actually work, but it's here. There's a little interior to the mushroom house. You didn't see that. Didn't see that. Anyway. I think that's all I made for the mushroom house. Just ignoring what's like everything over here. I decided to instead make this bridge instead of like making something over here. That would be crazy. I didn't do that until later. But I made this bridge. Go down into here. Feels like I'm going on an adventure. Ooh. Go all the way to this cave. This cave is so cool. This cave is so cool. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this world. Watch this, watch this. I spent so much time on this minecart rail. Look all the cave pillars. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. Oh no, lava! Oh, I was saved. I'm so good at making minecart rails. Honestly, best part of the world. But anyway, after that, I was kind of dumbfounded. So I remembered that I found a portal sword on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, I can make one of those. So I didn't look at anything, I just made it by hand, just guessing. I did go through. I had a little idea that was kind of like this. So it was kind of like this, but I gave up on it during, like, at the time. I genuinely like this more, but since I did it, since I already got rid of it, I can't do it after the 10 hours, except for the mushroom block thing. That was just a texture thing. Just ignore it for now. But yeah, I did make a portal sword based off of what I saw on YouTube. But after that, I decided, you know what? You know what I make in Minecraft a lot? I make floating islands. Why not make some floating islands? And by me, I mean my friend told me to, because I make a lot of floating islands. He was like, why don't you just do that? So I made a little tower. I make these kind of towers a lot. I really like the witch hat towers. I put a little magic stuff up here. This is like a magical wizard tower. I don't know why I put that there, but I don't know, it looks nice. I used some of these new things. They kind of look like wizard. I don't know what I'm saying. Put another crystal beacon. I kind of like those in this build, I guess. And then I think the last thing I built was this over here. This, when I was building this, I think I did the most work on my 15th birthday. So I gave myself a few candles, ate a big cake, made a table over here, gave some visitors some plates if anyone wanted to come to my birthday. They did. I had a party. It was fine. It was fine. I got a few gifts. I'm very good at making bows, as you could tell. Like, actually so talented. There is nothing inside the gifts. Someone already asked me what did I get, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that part. But other than that, I think that's the last build I made. There is one more. Oh, I forgot about this! Basically, when I was making that, I used World Editor, started using brush with sand, and I just made a misclick and just named it the misclick. And I just thought that was so funny for some reason. Like, I would just look over there and I was like, that's the misclick. That's the misclick. And then, obviously, as you saw, if you were watching my epic dialogue, but if you haven't seen it, I was sitting here for the last 5 seconds and I was like, it's the final countdown. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, and it was so cool because I was finally free from the wrath of this project and building for 10 hours. I did this all in 2 days. I was so tired by the end. You have to understand. But saying all that, I guess you've seen everything. And I don't really know how to end video. I don't really know how to end videos. So I'm just gonna say goodbye. Goodbye. Why are you still here? You could watch another video. Like in the right, on the, I think it's on the right. Or the left. Why? Just go. I don't understand.